UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer claims that digital IDs are an essential weapon to fight against illegal immigration. And then we have his secretary, Darren Jones, saying that in the future, digital ID could be used for really quite exciting public service reform. So which is it? Is the digital ID valuable to fight illegal immigration, or is it valuable as a platform for really exciting public service reform? The government in the United Kingdom is talking out of both sides of its mouth because they know that if they're straight with the public and they tell them the truth, they say that digital ID is basically a way of integrating a wide range of government services, then the public will become suspicious and will become fearful of what the government might do with this technology. I think we can safely dismiss the idea that a digital ID, a universal digital ID, is going to somehow stop or significantly slow down illegal immigration. Do you seriously think that employers who are willing to basically have cheap labor illegally and take the risk of run-ins with the law are going to suddenly start asking their employees for digital ID? That is such a red herring. That is not what this debate is about. So let's talk about what this is really about. This is about a technology that allows the government to essentially integrate an expanding range of data points about each citizen within a single digital database. A single digital ID could be associated with your driver's license, your access to housing, your health history, and vaccination status. So far, over 2.8 million people have signed the petition in the UK against digital ID. Are they right to be concerned? Absolutely, for a number of reasons. First of all, there is the issue of potential data breaches. The UK and other European countries have seen major breaches of government databases. For example, the electoral register in the UK exposed the data of millions of citizens because it was hacked. And if you just Google data breaches in the UK government, say going back 5 years, starting in 2020, you'll see a number of very significant data breaches, whether through internal inadvertent releases of information or external hacks. Now, imagine if we started collating citizens' data across a whole bunch of areas, from your health status to your employment status to your immigration status, and then integrated this all within a single database, government-controlled, government-managed database. Wouldn't this be a honeypot for potential hackers, for foreign governments, for rogue actors? Do we really trust the government as a steward of our data, given the track record of major, data breaches that we've seen over the last few years? And then there's an equally significant and perhaps even more disturbing issue, which is the moral credentials of governments and whether or not we trust government actors not to abuse this sort of information that would be collated within a single database. Again, I would just ask you to look at the government's track record. The track record not only of the UK government, but of many other Western governments, how they have used our data in the past. And we don't have to look very far back. Let's just look back to the pandemic. How did they use data about our vaccination status during the pandemic? They used it to deprive access to public services, to transportation, to restaurants, coffee shops, social venues, on the basis of somebody's vaccination status. I couldn't go in to a coffee shop with my wife when we were in the Netherlands for the simple reason that we had said no thank you to a government approved medication. If that's how they treated us during the pandemic with privileged information about our health status, then what do you think they might do if they had a fully integrated database with real-time access to our sensitive information? For example, the digital wallet. is coming and it's being promoted by governments. Now, what would they do if they integrated our digital wallet into our digital ID and they could actually track in real time our access to goods and services? For example, could they perhaps say, okay, you can't buy any more petrol because you have reached your quota? Could they say you can't pay for any more flights because you have used up your carbon footprint? If there was some kind of, health scare, could they say you can no longer access public transport or social venues because your vaccination status is not up to date? You haven't received the latest government recommended vaccination or medication. All of these scenarios are technologically feasible. We've already seen a little bit of a dry run during the pandemic. Under these circumstances, for a citizen to support a digital ID project that is inherently expansive and that is ultimately geared towards integrating our information within a single government controlled database, for a citizen to support that kind of project is basically like a turkey voting for Christmas.